What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Golden Dice Podcast, Episode 5, where we talk about literally nothing, give no useful information, but we are here to kill at least an hour of your workday or your commute. And that's what we try to do here. So, how's everybody's week been? Flock, kick it off. What have you been up to? What have you been playing? What have you been doing? Anything new in life since our last podcast?
Well, actually, recently, y'all got me to play Lorcana.
True.
Bro.
Yeah. I got my butt whooped by Jack, and I got my butt whooped by Carrie.
You know what's funny? I actually have some cards that I didn't realize Carrie and I pulled in our packs. Like, I have the big Tinkerbell that I didn't put in the deck, and I didn't realize that we had her because I didn't really pay attention to the gray, and I hadn't sorted them into my collection yet. So there was just a stack of gray cards, and then I was sorting. And I was like, wait a minute,
That's huge.
this
That's a huge
Tinkerbell's
card.
good.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah, it was fun. I learned why you said purple is good right now. That wasn't fun to play against. So, but yeah, ultimately it was quick to pick up. There was no convoluted stuff. It was very simple because it's a kid's game. So I like that about it, that you can just pick it up, play it. Just sucks that you can't actually get product. Because I instantly, after playing, I was like, oh, let me see if I can get a starter. And I called a few game stores nearby, and they're like, yeah, no one has that. I was like, worth a shot. So
Yeah. At best, you can like check
yeah.
Target and Walmart every day, but I wouldn't really
Yeah.
recommend it.
Well, I even went on like Facebook Marketplace, and like people are selling booster boxes, but like I looked up, it's the it's not the booster box. It's that 12
The
12
Trove?
pack. The Trove, yeah, it was a Trove, and they're like
Trove's
they're saying
really good,
booster
yeah.
box, and I'm like, false advertisement.
Do not buy
And those are
anything
those
currently.
those are selling. It's like over $125 for like the Trove.
Yeah, they're 50 MSRP, so don't even bother with
Yeah,
that.
and booster boxes I think were like 300.
They're 145 MSRP, so don't
Yeah,
bother with that.
yeah. I was like, because the Trove, it said booster box. So I was like, oh, 125. I looked it up. I was like, oh, cool. That's like below MSRP. Like, let's go. Then I looked into it more, and I was like, oh, it's a Trove. It's not worth that much. I was like, okay.
It's unfortunate. They really messed up that release because I see like people online are really abuzz about it. Like the want and the desire is there. They just like everywhere you go is there's being scalped. Like the Ravensburger website had a queue for people like the night before, and then like it was sold out by like 01 of the hour like that it was
Yeah.
going live, and
You said
Best
it's
Buy
trigger
sold
word,
out.
Flock.
Yo, it sounds like when I was trying to get my GPU,
Offers.
the 3000 series. I was like, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm not even playing with them at this point. Like, I'll if there's product when I go next time I go, then I'll
Yeah.
pick them up. But otherwise, I'm not gonna go on the hunt.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can. This pushes those people to Star Wars Unlimited. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
If they have a good release, it might push more towards it. So that'd be awesome.
I don't know. It probably depends on timing because there could be a third set of Lorcana and they're reprinting set 1 and Q1. So,
Yeah, the second they put that tweet out where they're like, "Oh, follow us for when it goes live again," like that's the point. And it's all local game stores this time. It's not going to be retailers like Target and Best Buy and Walmart and all that. So, and local card stores are really marking them up anyway. So at that point, like,
well, it depends. If there's product and people can buy them, like the more product there is, the more close it is going to be to MSRP.
Yep.
And also by then it'll probably potentially lose value because other sets will be out. But like Destiny also survived that. Like
it's Disney, and the IP isn't. The IP is so strong that it's going to survive whatever.
Yeah.
People are still going to buy it no matter what when it comes back, if it comes back. So
Brian will.
True.
Nah.
Yeah, okay, bud.
At this point, and it's funny because Jack and I were talking this week, and I said, the only way they're going to get me back in is Toy Story cards. And what did I see this week? Woody is on the cover of some stuff. I don't know if it's official or not, but like I was like, damn, that's
Woody.
the one thing that I was like, that is the stuff that gets me back in Toy Story.
Way to say his trigger word, Flock. You got Brian on a 10-minute rant about Lorcana.
Yeah, I know.
Lorcana. Hey, welcome to the Star Wars podcast about Lorcana.
Brian, what about you? What have you been up to the past 2 weeks or so?
I've been no life in World of Warcraft Hardcore Classic and some One Piece. I think I watched 100 episodes this week because I'm just committed. Oh, also watching FFG streams too, so that's fun.
Flock, last time we were here, you said you were excited about hardcore. How's that been going? How's WoW hardcore been going for you?
I'm having fun. You know, first ten levels is a lot of
Bro.
fun, especially when you get to repeat the first 10 levels. It's even more fun.
Bro, you were so excited to get to level 10 and get into a new zone, dude. You're stoked.
Yep.
Dan has seen Dun Moreau at least 4 times now.
Star
Yep.
zone, like the back of his
Well,
hand.
to be fair, Brian killed me the one time, so
Nope, because that guy is 24 now. So
I start attacking. All of a sudden, I look over and Brian's sitting there just drinking water on the ground, and I'm like, and I die.
situational awareness. Situational awareness. Anyway, Jack, what are you doing? What's been up with you?
Similar to Brian, just been binging One Piece, been playing WoW. Soccer starts out this week. Flock and I have our 11s game on Saturday, and then all 3 of us have our Mixto game on Tuesday.
Yeah, Soka's out. I can't make it. Sorry.
I know, that's the tough part. Arizona
Yeah,
Soka. Soka,
you'll be
obviously no
you'll-
spoilers, but 10 out of 10, I think, from all 3 of us so far.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Pretty good.
I was gripping my chair last episode.
That's because you had a bowl of chili before.
No. It was queso.
Oh, my bad. Dude, the other day I had, I don't know if this is TMI, bro, but I had a work meeting and we went out to a diner. It was like a one-on-one thing, and we're getting breakfast. But before I went to bed the night before, I get this mean, like, chili queso dip from Sam's Club, and I could eat, like, the whole thing in one sitting, and I essentially did that the night before. So I'm, like, sitting in there. I take a sip of coffee. I'm like, I have to get home right now. And so it's like I ended that meeting within 45 minutes. But normally we would hang out and talk for longer and stuff. But
Bold choice.
I had to get out of there.
Bold
It was
strategy.
Dangerous. I do not trust the Nifty 50s bathrooms either. So,
Ooh.
but that's
Ooh.
my week. That's my.
Good week.
I still, and you know, I'll say this on air. I really got to finish Jedi Survivor, man. I got to play that, or at least watch somebody play that.
Yeah,
like, I
the
wanna
game
know
is
the story
broken for
for it.
PC still.
They just put out another update, so I don't know
I
how
can
good
try.
or what that was focused on. But
When I die in WoW, I'll play hardcore.
when I die,
I'm,
wow,
I'm,
I'll play
I'm
hardcore.
indoctrinated. I can't go back. No, I'll play Jedi Survivor again. See if it's fixed.
Yeah. But been an exciting week. Even though we have still limited cards, I've still been jamming games on Felt Table for unlimited. The 3 of us, Flock, put in the work and printed out a lot of the cards, and so we're going to try to get some in-person games. I printed out the starters and demoed that with my wife, and you know, we both had fun doing that. FFG did a live stream this week of Command, and they did say that October will be Aggression, so we will get Red next month in a similar vein to what they've been doing, and then Cunning in November. And then break December, and then release January, right? Definitely.
Hey, yo.
Right?
I was just counting after doing once a month, and it looks like March confirmed.
Global release January.
Well, no, they already did it, Villainy and Heroism. They did them in a one stream, because what do you say? Good guy's hero, bad guy's villain. Sometimes at different points in their life they could be either. But yeah, so they talked about that. If you haven't already, feel free to pause us, go watch that stream, go read the article they also put out on StarWarsUnlimited.com. That kind of goes through some of that stuff, but it was pretty exciting. And on top of that, we had gotten some earlier spoilers, which we'll go through in just a second. But they revealed Grand Moff Tarkin before that. And that led into him and Leia being the 2 talking points of the hero and the villain at that point. And then we got some other cards in there and 2 stuff. But, dude, they are just, like, still knocking it out of the park, man.
I mean, the stream is great, and
Yeah.
I think that they just keep knocking it out of the park, like you said. I mean, every stream, I'm a little more excited, and they drop a little more info that I'm like, man, these cards are cool. And I think they just keep bringing cooler and cooler cards.
Yeah.
And we are not even a fraction of the way through yet. So they're going to continue to knock it out of the park, I hope, and bring more cool stuff. And I think the hype is definitely going to live till release. I hope.
Yeah, we're at 8. According, if I'm looking at Spood DB, right? When you go to the spoilers, I'm currently looking at page 1 of 60, but it says 81 cards. So there's 81 cards spoiled, but I know some of them, like, that would be
like
5
Vader and
bases
Luke
and
aren't
stuff.
here.
Yeah.
Some other stuff is in here, but yeah.
So I think I have a few more cards to print out. for physical copies. But yeah, it was
Yeah.
awesome.
But yeah, that was really good. Cool to see some of the insights. Even though they didn't spoil him, when Tyler was talking about who is Command, he specifically said it could be Emperors. So I think we'll get Palpatine at some point.
Hey yo,
Yeah, I mean there could be different versions of Palpatine. I mean, I guess what other Emperors are there?
For this like era,
I mean, even like prequel
There's-
and sequel.
there's Snoke. Snoke was an emperor, right?
Emperor Snoke,
yeah,
was it? Yeah, I don't know.
yep.
I just
I
enjoy
mean,
the.
let me do a quick
I
Google.
I enjoy the sequels. I try not to think too hard about who's what.
Supreme leader. I mean, I thought he was
Supreme leader.
That's why I was like, I don't
Alright.
remember ever saying like Emperor Snoke.
Yeah.
I mean, technically,
I don't think about the sequels that often. I got to be honest with you.
yeah. But it was cool, exciting to see new cards, exciting to see them introduced in the game. I mean, if all you do is take from those streams the spoilers, it's fine. I mean, I think you're missing out on some interesting designer talk as well. But I mean, ultimately, they're just saying Command is the military, right? And that's kind of what they're going for. But we have a few.
Outside of that, I think they're fun. Streams are fun. Like they make them
Oh yeah.
they make them engaging and their personality shine through. I really enjoy it.
Well,
So-
dude, when they revealed the command card, right? Whatever the
Yeah, they had a little pop quiz kind of thing.
yeah, they first like blanked
Like
it all
you've
out.
seen-
And they're like, we
Yeah.
can't reveal this, but if you guess it, we'll say. Like obviously, trying to get discussion going, and it worked, and it was fun.
And I think the chat got 3 out of 4, and they gave us the last one.
Bro, I like said the last one. It was the deal damage, I think, because I
a
basically
friendly-
I said
yeah,
it was like
yeah.
Akbar's ability almost. I mean, I know Akbar's a little different. Like we'll read him in a minute about like dealing as many units as you
Yeah.
have in that arena to somebody. But I was like, I feel like it's
But
got
it's
to
cool.
be like
They
an
make it
on-play.
interactive. You know, I really like that. They read the chat,
Yeah.
they answer the questions. Like this is very much the back and forth of like the community outreach that I, was hoping for that they would do this time.
I almost
So-
want to like go back and compare. Like I want to watch like an FFG stream from like 5 years ago, and then I want to go and watch an FFG
Only
recent
pain will
unlimited
you
stream.
find.
and like just see, even like you said, just the difference in how they interact while the live stream is going. Like the content is beyond already. Like the content is
Right.
better now, of course, but just how they talk and interact with everybody is really, really good.
I love it. 10 out of 10.
And we got
Keep
two
'em
more this
coming.
month.
Yeah.
Two more this month. We got believe it's going to be talking about PAX, and it's going to be so September 20th. Get ready to unleash unlimited possibilities. Join designers alongside host Josh Macy as they discuss the contents of booster packs for a certain upcoming game. Wonder what that is, along with the relative rarities of the cards found therein. And then on September 27th, get ready to unleash unlimited possibilities. Join lead game designer Danny, product strategy Jim, and host Josh as they look at different products that will launch for a certain upcoming game, including details such as contents, price, organized play, and more. I feel like we're getting really close to like a release date as well. And I would say, I think most games do like anywhere from 60 to 90 days. Like I think Flesh and Blood's at the point where it's like 60 days out. You get a release
Don't
date.
talk about Flesh and Blood here. Don't talk about that. No,
So I
thank
think, 2-3 months out is when you would potentially hear it. So October, late September, October, could give us a 3-month window into January. But
So start saving your money now, folks.
well, yeah, save for
Start
Uh,
saving.
the holidays, save for the presents you're gonna be buying people,
you. Is
and then
Swoop coming to PAX Unplugged? Did they say? Do you know?
Ooh,
like demos.
forgot
and
about
stuff?
that.
I don't know.
Isn't
I
that
feel
like
like
last? Isn't that the last weekend in November?
Just
PAX
December
Unplugged?
1st to the 3rd.
December 1st. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Haven't said
Hey,
anything. The only thing we
yo.
know is the German one, Spiel.
Spiel in Essen. Yeah.
that's-
And that is
which we're not going to anymore.
yeah.
By the
That's
way.
early October, right?
Yeah, first week of
Yep.
October.
Yep.
First or second. Yeah.
Yep.
One of those.
So we could get more stuff there. There's still they've still been releasing content creators like Hobbies and Happiness. We'll get into a second of the Boba Fett and the Fire Spray. Like those were two big bombs. So I'm still hoping
Big
some
bombs.
content creators are gonna be getting spoilers throughout the weeks. I still think FFG is going to be releasing their spoilers on a schedule and stuff. So I think we're going to be getting fed stuff all the way up until release, and then the cadence will change as Set 2 comes out, right? Because there'll be more to talk about, more to cover. Like right now, the only content they really can give us is spoilers. So, but yeah, massive dub. Still happy. Chip, if you're listening, you gotta convert. You gotta convert. Just let
I
Lorcana
miss Chip.
go. Just let it go.
I miss Chip's dulcet tones, man.
Yeah.
What a guy.
I
I
texted
missed
him.
a soundboard.
I think he's closer to coming on than he was 2 months ago, but still not.
Hey,
there
yo.
yet. Still not there yet.
Chip, we miss you. I miss you personally. Me
I think everybody.
specifically. Yeah, everyone does. I've seen people in the live stream chats were talking about Chip at one point or another, talking about, oh, I miss Mr. Chip.
Yeah.
But
All right. Anything else, just like in general, before we move on to spoilers? Right. Not still much to talk about other than
they knocked it out of the park.
knocked
Let's look at some cards.
it out. And I guess I'll say the starter deck. I got a chance to, like I said, got a chance to play with my wife. I thought it was pretty balanced. I thought it was pretty good. I think it's still a little swingy because right, there's starter decks. So if like one person just kind of like hits the curve and plays everything they can play and stuff like that, it can be a little rough for the other one to deal with. But I think if you just look at it card by card, comparing, it's pretty similar. But yeah, plus on that, encourage you to print them out and play with them. If you haven't, do TTS, do Felt Table, do all those things. But we'll transition into spoilers. We've got 9 spoilers for you. And so the first 5 were revealed pre-stream. And then the last ones are the command ones that we got. So we'll kick it off. And the first one that we have is It Binds All Things. It is a 2-cost, 1 vigilance force event. It says heal up to 3 damage from a unit. If you control a force unit, you may deal that much damage to another unit. Seems like a card that gets better the more sets we have, but like currently, what force users can you have in your deck?
Obi and Yoda.
Obi
Yeah.
and Yoda. Do they both have the force tag as well?
Let's take a look.
Let's take a look. I mean, I'm pretty sure Obi does. Yoda is probably more my question. So
Where Obi has the force.
yeah, and then Luke technically as well, right? If you deploy him, so you can guarantee it with stuff like that, but you also can't guarantee whether or not your Luke gets one shot off the board.
Oh, I don't have.
So
all
it's
of them.
it's up to 3 damage. So that means if you only heal 1 damage, you only do heal 1 damage. You only do 1 damage, right?
Yoda has
Correct.
the force as well.
Okay.
The heal up to can be like niche with like Krennic, right? You kind of want to have a damage on your unit so they get the +1 from
Yeah.
his ability,
Yeah.
but also like a part of me feels like I'd rather just heal the full 3 and like I'm still doing the 3 damage rather than heal 2, do 2, and then keep the 1 damage on. But
Yep.
unless there's also something on the card that like if this has damage, it has an extra ability or whatever. But I don't know. 2 to heal 3 and deal 3 is above the curve. 2 to heal 2 and deal 2 feels kind of meh. So I don't know. Unless you're getting the full value out of this.
I mean, if you think about it, I mean, like paying 2 to heal 2, do 2, you're swinging for what? Basically, it's a 4 damage swing, which seems pretty good. I think the 1 for 1 is not good because that's only a 2-point swing.
Yeah.
But 2 for 2 is, I would say, average. Like you want to at least shoot for 2 for 2. 3 for 3 is like okay, yeah, above average. Out of the 2 costs. So
And if you don't
I
have a
like
force
it.
user, it's just terrible. It's just
yeah,
strictly worse
yeah.
than
It's
But
literally
if you're running blue,
yeah. I mean, they've
you
already
would hope
they've
that
already
got more.
yeah they've already hinted like with the other cards that we're gonna have a mono blue deck possibly. So this would be really good at something like that. So I keep saying mono blue from Destiny, but like you know what I mean, like, just blue.
Yeah, and
Because the one card that was what it's like the two blue symbols. So
Vigilance.
yeah,
I think
So,
you're
like,
pretty good bet of like Luke having a unit as well, because like Tarkin
Yeah.
as a leader has a unit, Leia's a leader has a unit, Chewie's a leader has a unit,
yeah,
Boba's a leader has a unit. So there's a lot of that. So
Yeah.
obviously Vader, Krennic, and Luke don't at this point, but
yeah.
I think there's a good chance of that. And whenever set 3 hits, which I think is supposed to be like the Republic era, you can imagine there's a lot of Jedi, a lot of Force users that can come into that.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see like how many in the first set come out that are going to be Force users. Because you think about it, like when like I guess the first trilogy wasn't many really Force users, so there's only so many units you can have that have Force. So it'll be
the
interesting
Force
to see how
resides in
useful.
all living things, Flockton.
True,
You never know.
true. Yep,
You
yep.
never know. Maybe Churt's on the horizon.
I'll say Chirrut could
And
be in
that's-
there too.
And that's all I can think of. Church
Yeah.
Rebels. There's not a lot-
Yep,
there's
yep.
not a lot going on.
I mean, if you do, you could have Kanan, Chirrut, like Luke, like as a unit, right? There you're talking.
Yeah.
That's now up to
Ezra.
5. That's 15 cards. Ezra,
Yeah.
18,
Ezra Bridger,
18
yeah.
units that could be in your deck that are Force. But
If they're all out in the first set, though.
It's a big if.
but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But all those
Yeah,
fit that
yeah.
era. But even then,
Yep,
I-
they do.
I'm not gonna make. I'm probably not gonna make a Force user deck so I can run It Binds All Things. If all those Force units are good and work in a deck, then It Binds All Things probably get taken in. But I'm probably like, if Ezra's a crappy unit, I'm not gonna bring him just so I have more It Binds All Things targets. I think it's
Fair,
a card
yeah,
that
yeah,
like
yep.
you maybe run
Yep.
if the deck's already working.
Agreed.
I'm not building my deck around an event.
Hey, Command. We'll get to that, bro.
Hey,
I like
yo.
Command a lot. I like Command a lot.
Command's great.
I
think-
like it a lot more than Vigilance in terms of those double aspect legendaries.
Yeah.
And names of the aspects. But we'll get there.
yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get
Yeah,
there.
yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll talk about it later.
All right. Who wants the next
Oh,
gentleman?
me.
Take 'em.
Boba Fett unit.
Where?
3 costs.
Boba Fett.
What?
Boba Fett.
We're not
Where?
on Boba Fett.
Where?
No, it's Star Wars.
Oh.
Have you seen the movies? Have you ever seen Return of the Jedi?
No.
Oh, okay.
Add a Wilhelm scream right here. For when Boba Fett goes flying.
Wait, Flock, you have to do it.
Joking.
Do what?
Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, no, dude. No.
Go ahead,
3
go ahead.
cost. Yellow, black, I guess. Yeah. 3 damage. 5 willpower. Underworld, bounty hunter. And on attack, if this unit is attacking an exhausted unit that didn't enter play this round, deal 3 damage to the defender. And it's also a legendary.
Stipulation too is we talk about it. Leaders are always in play, so they are just deployed. So his action would work on a leader that is just deployed because they've always been in play. They didn't just come into play this round.
Okay.
Slight note on that. So that's a bonus to Boba Fett, right? Because
Yep.
his on attack does work with somebody deploying. So I mean, any leaders that have 6 health or less, Boba can snipe them off the board. If you just play into that, I would hope that you know that. But I mean, even before his on attack, I think he is just really good. A 3/5 who also deals 3 more, like essentially kind of being like a 6/5 for a 3-drop. And I wanted to go through some of the other ones real quick. Like for the 3-drops, Veers is a 3/3, but buffs all the other ones. Rebel or Fleet Lieutenant is a 3/3 who gets +2 for a single attack. Cell Block is 3/3 with Sentinel. Rogue Operative is a 2/4 with Saboteur and Raid 2, so kind of like a 4/4. Super Laser is a 2/1, but you know his ability, Akbar we'll get to in a second, is a 1/4, but that's for a reason. So looking at almost all of these stats, the only other like really good one I think is or above the curve is almost the Royal Guard, which could be a 3/5 potentially with Sentinel. He matches that 3/5 and then also has that attack ability. So I mean, I think he's really good, and if you're running yellow, I think you almost just have him anyways, whether or not you are caring about the fire spray we'll see in a second. Like you don't need to run the fire spray, you don't need to be running Boba. Maybe there's other bounty things. He just seems like a solid 3 cost.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a really good card. And legendary. And I'm glad that there was some controversy I saw like in Discord. Some people worried because the first legendary we had was Vigilance. So it was like, oh, legendaries are like high skill cap, kind of different. Like, that's cool. But now people were, I know, a little like potentially worried that like power will be behind legendaries. And I think that's kind of a good thing. Like, you do want some of your legendaries to just straight up be good cards. And yeah, Boba's probably good enough to where you want 3 of. But I mean, personally for me, I don't think that's a down thing in terms of collecting. Like, I think that goes into you want people to keep buying packs for reasons. Good legendaries is one. all art foils, etc. Is another.
Yeah, I do want to say that I like the legendaries in SWU more than I've liked the legendaries in Lorcana. I feel like the legendaries in Lorcana are a little lackluster, where these feel like they have some weight behind them. Um, as well as the fact that they have some like more utility. Like the characters have, like the legendaries in Lorcana have are characters with effects on them, most of them, and these have a little bit of both now, where you have a unit and you have a card that does pick two of these X, Y, and Z things that have a little utility, a little flexibility. I like that more than just a straight line. Let's say. I think they're looking good so far.
Yep. And reminder on uniqueness, whatever, you can have leader Boba Fett out and this unit Boba Fett out at the same exact time. No restrictions on that, just on the specific characters. You can't have two Boba Fett disintegrators out at the same time.
I also did like that they had like the legendaries. They have not just like the units or upgrades. Like they're also doing event legendaries too.
Yeah,
I enjoy that a lot. That there's like different. It's not just, yep, we're doing a lot of damage with these big units. That's a legendary. It's like, okay, there's that as well, and then there's also the high skill cap event ones that if you use it correctly, you can get, really good outcomes out of it, and if you use it poorly, you get, lower outcomes. So
yeah, you couldn't see that in Destiny because it's like it had to be a dice card.
Yeah,
right? We never got anything that wasn't.
Yep, it had. Oh yeah, because it had to be because the last. Yep. I like that.
Which is fine. I don't know. I don't really have a problem with in Destiny. I think it made sense, but I agree with you that it is cool that there's more space to expand on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally well, because if you think about it, if you have like a certain legend that's really good, but like it's locked to like dark side or a certain, whatever, you're kind of locked to it. You got to build around it. Where if you have an event that's a legendary, you can just throw it in almost any deck, basically.
Well, and these can also go in any deck because you can throw whatever you want in there. Just pay more.
That is true. Yep.
If it's that good, if we deem Boba that good.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
for sure.
It's huge that you can just do whatever you want.
I think that's still not wrapped around my mind. Anytime I make a deck, right. We only have a certain amount of cards, but when I build a deck, I have all of what I brought, like what my leader and my base has.
If you want, you do what you want.
That's cool.
I think that's huge. I think that if you want to pay 8 for vigilance, if you want to pay 8 for, if it's that good to you, if you wanted to pay whatever, you can. I think that flexibility is huge. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you almost got to evaluate cards twice. Like, is this good at 30? Boba Fett? Yes. All right, is it good at 5? And then that's like another,
right.
Maybe,
but also, it could be something like you put it in like a one as or one of in your deck, and if you get it you hope you get it towards the end when you have plenty of resources. It could definitely be worth 5.
Yeah, but then you know what to do with it too. I mean,
exactly.
It's such a cool flex option that I think that if you, I think you're going to see some cool meta choices going forward. Because if something is that good, why not?
Yep.
And we haven't even seen more synergy yet with the Underworld or Bounty Hunter stuff yet, right? We've seen Underworld a few times, but no. Right, both Chewbacca's and now Boba Fett.
Yep.
So there's still more to see for that. All right, Brian, you want to take the?
I'm next.
I'm next.
I'm next. I get to read next. Fett's Fire Spray. It is a unique space unit. Yellow bad guy. Hits for 5. Has 6 willpower / health. Underworld vehicle transport. When played, if you control Boba Fett or Jango Fett as a leader or unit, ready this unit. Action. 2. Exhaust a non-unique unit. Sick nasty. Very cool.
And you can keep doing that, by the way. If you want to spend 6 resources to exhaust 6 characters. Right now, they have a chance to go in between. Right? They can be like, oh, shoot, he's exhausting my characters. Let me use my powerful one. But you can keep exhausting if you have the resources to do that.
It's huge. I think it's awesome.
And it's on par. What's the other 6 cost? Is that a 5/6 as well? The one that gives Sentinel the green.
The Gladiator Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
It's a 6 cost. Yeah.
That's 5/6 as well,
Give
right?
Sentinel for this phase 5/6. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean it's on par, and that's you're right. The 6 cost as well. Right? Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
that's what you just
Yeah.
yeah. So on the same curve, on the same attack, arguably.
Better.
Actually, so I was even just thinking of the action, but definitely if you have Boba Fett or Jango Fett, right? This coming in ready is huge.
Comes in ready. I
Yeah,
mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
Huge, and you can still use the action whenever. So, I like this card a whole lot. I think this gives Boba such a boost.
Yep.
Not that he really needs it. I mean, he's a great card on his own, but great leader on his own.
Well, the nice part is too, like if you were just playing Boba Fett, it's always as a leader or unit. So, right?
It's always in.
It's always
yeah,
always gonna come in ready.
yeah. So that has built-in
sick.
ambush, can exhaust stuff. You're doing 5 damage that turn unless they can do 6 to you. You know, it's an instant like it's a cheap shot. You know, it's like a sneaky.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's great.
Sneaky. Yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
These two are really good for Boba.
Yeah, I like that they're doing a lot of like really strong space units, so that it kind of forces you to have space units or a way to defend against space units in your deck, which is nice.
I think
Yeah.
most if not all of the space well, not all of them. I've read a couple of poo-poo
Yeah.
ones last week, but I think that most of the space units have been very strong so
Yeah.
far. The ones that are above like 4 cost are
Mhm.
huge. Even the tie advance that gives the experience.
I would say I like the experience ones, and then
Yeah,
like the 2 high, like home one we'll see in a second, and relentless or game
restored arc
finishers.
is good. Even like
Yeah.
and especially if you have no answer to space. Like I think space is really such a niche, like important field to look at
hmm
when you play this game.
Or at least like a way to answer it. You know, you don't have to have a whole bunch of space units, but like you're gonna have to think.
Have to
Okay,
events, do
I
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I need to have something in here to plan for it, because if they hold off long enough, they get 2 units out there and they're swinging for 10 damage around because you have
That
nothing to
adds up.
defend it. It adds up,
fast.
especially if you only have 25 health in your base. So it's like
Right.
you need to make sure that you have an answer for space, and there's enough in your deck that if they were to drop something early, really quickly, that you can answer it, because you could be screwed.
All of this just speaks to how complex the deck building is going to be for this game.
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Personally.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very complex, but very like rewarding to see what works and what doesn't. Like when you get that combo just right, I feel like this game's going to pop off.
Just right. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the unit breakdown is, what the space to ground is, to what the events are, to how many upgrades do you take, right? And that's obviously gonna vary, deck to deck, strategy to strategy. But big fan. All right, next up is somebody that I'm very excited for. This is Grand Moff Tarkin, and it is his leader card, and he's a leader. He is a Oversector Governor, and he is a villain green Imperial official, and he has an action: spend 1 and exhaust him to give an experience token to an Imperial unit. Epic action: if you control 5 or more resources, deploy this leader, and he is a 2 attack, 7 willpower. On attack, you may give an experience token to another Imperial unit. I think he's like the best leader we've seen by like a decent margin. I think like currently 80 card SWU meta, the deck to like beat was I think Luke with yellow, and I mean I think he's just like really really good, right? You could get a TIE fighter that's now a 3/2 on turn 1. You could get the Stormtrooper that's a 4/2 on turn 1, and then just give out like it's going to be so hard for you to deal with, right? There are some answers like Waylay or Vanquish or stuff like that, but also if he spreads those tokens out and there's like 4 to 5 tokens across all his units, it's tough to deal with. It's going to be tough to take effective trades and have a board state. And it's kind of funny that he's like an aggro. You would think Tarkin would be somebody who would ramp and want to bring out something huge, but he's an aggro deck.
Yeah. But it's still strategic, because you're not really like playing like for him. You play him to play for the rest of the board, which is nice. So you want to make sure you ramp out and get a lot of stuff out.
Yeah, he's building as he really said on stream, like he's like building up and expanding the empire, buffing those units up, making them stronger and stuff.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. I think there's like go ahead, Fleck.
No, in the art he does look very tired though.
As far as like 100 times better than the unit.
He
art.
looks tired. He looks really tired. Like he's been,
He's-
really
Yeah.
been thinking and working hard.
It's giving out
I think
experience, bro.
I think all the leaders have some cool stuff going on though. I don't think there's a particularly bad leader yet. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if anyone feels like overtly terrible to play, if any reason, just besides that there's not enough cards for their decks. But
I'm probably
anything
down
that's
on
been-
Krennic. I think of all the leaders, like he's got the restore too, but like I don't know. And I guess he gives a +1 on damage units and stuff, but I don't know. He's the only one that seems like kind of mid to me. Whereas I feel like Chewie will get picked up. Like shields are good with Luke, damage is good with Vader. Leia, we just don't know, but I assume taking 2 attacks with 1 go is good. So
I wish Krennic had like 1 more damage on him.
isn't he like 2/7 too or
He's
something?
2/7. Yeah, I wish he had like a 3/7.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just feels. I don't think he's like. Maybe he is a little mid. I can fix him.
I can fix you. Well, like
I can fix
I
it.
just like that. Almost everybody else, I feel like, kind of contributes into what they want to do. Whereas like Krennic is just like, I'll heal 2 while I'm out, and everybody gets +1. But if everybody gets 1 shot, I don't have an ability.
But you can burst him down real fast. I mean, like you can burst all the leaders down real fast at the point where they come out, though. I mean, I think that's one of the things that you gotta play around, but also anticipate. And it's tough.
It's definitely like a game of like chicken almost in a sense, like who's going to break away first. Of
Yeah.
Are you going to tap under the 1 removal that could kill me right now? And once you
And
tap
is it
under
worth
that,
it? Like,
Oh.
does it pay off? You know, like Krennic, you're right. Maybe doesn't feel like he's worth focusing your attention on if you can just kind of smack face and go forward with it.
yeah. I also just think like of everything that we pay 1 for, I think this is the best. Like I think Luke's shields are good, and again I think he's the top. Like I think Luke is probably second to Tarkin, but constantly giving out experience tokens seems to me better than a ping of damage from Vader. The +1 from Krennic, because this is a +1. Granted, you don't have to pay for Krennic, and it's board wide. Chewie Sentinel, I feel like doesn't really matter till like the game gets going. Right, round 1, round 2 probably doesn't really matter to the Sentinel, whereas Tarkin can drop a 1-drop and then buff it up. So I don't know. There's definitely, I'm sure, some plays that will make Chewie better, especially when more Underworld stuff comes out and synergies come out. But in a game where no cards have real synergies and there's 20% of the set revealed, I think just handing out 1/1s is very, very good.
Sure.
I'm liking Command, dude. Tarkin's, if I had to make a deck, Tarkin's my guy right now.
I was gonna ask that later. I was gonna say, what's everyone feeling about leaders? We can save that.
Tarkin.
Block, you're up, buddy.
Oh, my turn. All right, so next up we have Rugged Survivors. Unit,
All right.
ground unit, 5 cost, blue. 3/5 fringe. Has grit, and on attack, if you control a leader unit, you may draw a card.
Flock, you read the card. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I read it. Doesn't mean I know what I read. All right, so I think it's pretty good. Steep for a 5 cost for a 3/5, but I think can be good.
I think that it depends on the longevity of it. Like how long it's on the field will be
Yeah.
as worth it as it is. How many cards you're drawing, how much, what can you take out with it? You can probably swing for 2 things, but if your opponent swings into it, then like it kind of feels bad.
Yep.
So, but if you paired this with like paired it with Tarkin, gave it experience.
Can't. Not
No,
Imperial.
I know. I know.
Uh,
I'm just saying.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of down on it because I feel like it won't be consistent. I feel like the games where you do get like 2 draw off and you do get like a good trade with the grit is going to be nice, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Not,
I mean,
not
you
huge.
definitely probably want this in a a deck where you want to draw a bunch of cards, but also you probably have a bunch of Sentinels in there so that you can get it off as much as possible. So
Yeah, because not only do you have to protect him, you also
yeah,
have to protect your
it's
leader.
like it's like a setup play kind of. So you get it too early, it's just a resource, you know.
Bro, it's got the stats of Boba for 2 more, man.
Right? That's what,
With
like it's not
Grit,
it's not awful, but I know. I mean,
well,
yeah.
that's the thing. Like, if you have a clean board and you play this, not you have a clean board. If your opponent has like a clean board, which happens sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like, if the stars align, maybe it's okay, but I don't think it's super great. I think it's okay.
Yeah, like if you
Depends
tell
on
me you
what
made
it's
a deck where it's really good at, I'd probably like believe you. That's some good plays, but it's probably not something that I'm like jumping to be like, I have to try this card, or I
Yeah.
need to put 3 of it, or whatever.
Agree.
All right, Bri.
Admiral Akbar. It's a
It's a
green
trap.
unit. It's a trap. It costs 3. It is a green good guy. Tax for 1. Rebel official. Willpower / health is 4. Restore 1. When played, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the number of units you control in its arena. This could be good. That effect could be good if it's a late game thing and
And he counts for himself too, so
yeah.
like
So
he adds 1 to that.
yeah. I mean himself, like after he's out, like meh. He's a 1/4.
1/4 is.
He's not going to be
terrible.
anything special, but like that restore, that effect when played, he's good. He's solid.
Yeah, I feel like I would want like 3 damage from his ability to like be really happy to pay 3 straight up for him. In a second, we'll see. There's a really good combo with it. Works with his shit, but I like him. He's really good. He could definitely get some units off the board for you, right? If the board's even, he could definitely be the guy that comes in and swings it. And the nice part is too is if like your opponent has a pesky sentinel or something in space, but you have 3 units in space, you would do 3 damage to it, right? Like you don't have to do ground with his attack. You could pick space, deal damage to one of their space units equal to the amount of space units that you have.
Yep.
Or pick ground, and he's in ground, and he would count towards that. And then also with the overwrite rule, I believe it would be, or the 2 unique thing. If you played a new one, the new one's ability would go off, but he wouldn't count towards it. Like there wouldn't be 2 Akbars counting towards it. It would just be
Okay.
whatever one.
Still not bad though. I mean, it's still pretty decent for what it is.
No, and like 1/4 with restore with an on play effect, like I think he's pretty solid. Like if you're playing like a late game green hero deck, to me he seems like he would be a 3 of one of the first cards in the deck.
Sure.
Yeah. I kind of like him because even for a 3 cost, say you only get 1 or 2 damage off of his ability, and you're able to get a 1 attack off to get your restore. I think that's pretty good. Pretty good, cost for your money.
Yep.
I mean, also like he's not that threatening too. That can be like a nice sneaky 1 damage because you really feel like taking out Akbar, like wasting a turn to do
Yeah.
whatever. Like I mean, he's very unassuming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Too. So that could be a good steady source of damage throughout wherever you are at the game.
Yep. And I think to fully talk about him too as well, we can just go up and move on to the next one, which is Home 1. It is an 8 cost unit space. Subtitle is Alliance Flagship. It is a hero green card. It's a rebel vehicle capital ship, has 7 attack, 7 willpower, has restore 2. Each other friendly unit gains restore 1, and when played a hero unit from your discard pile, when played, you may play a hero unit from your discard pile. It costs 3 less. So you could drop Home 1, play Akbar for free from your discard pile, do the damage of whatever, and have that into play. So seems really good. You play Home 1 for 8. You not only get a 7/7, but you get a even if it's not like a free 3, right? You could potentially play something, a 4 or 5 cost, but I mean you need 10 resources to do that, right? But still being able to play an 8 and then also get 3 more resource something from your discard pile is really good. And also restore stacks. So like for example, if Akbar comes out, he naturally has restore 1. Home 1 says each other friendly unit gains restore 1. When Akbar would attack, he would get restore 2. So you'd heal for 2.
Card is nuts.
Sheesh.
Card is nuts, dude.
So yeah, you can definitely, if you're going late game and it's like you're getting low, you're just starting to hit your ramp. Home 1 can definitely be the one to really just beef your base back up so you can let your big units finish the job and stuff like that. So big fan.
Dude, these space units are beefy.
Beefy ball. I'm curious to see like the ground units, right? They've talked about how it's undercurved. I want to see an 8 cost.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because we have what, the ATST that showed up. That's the only like big bomb ground unit, right?
Yeah, and that's good. That's 6/5 with overwhelm, right?
Yeah.
For 6 cost. Because all the spaces have had a big effect, but also have less stats than the cost.
Yeah.
And then also pretty much have all had 2 aspect cost as well. So yeah, I'm curious. Like if Luke does come as a unit, Vader does come, right? I imagine they would be like 7, 8, 9 cost potentially. And what would they do? They have to do something crazy, man. And be like beefs. Like if Luke is a 7 cost, he's got to be like an 8/8 at least. He's got to be above the curve of what we've been seeing for the space units. Unless his ability is that insane, I guess. But I'm hyped for that, man. I'm hyped for that. So, so big on Home 1. My only concern, though, still with Green Hero is just how do they ramp? They have resupply, but like Villain has that too. And they have DJ, Kyber Crystal, Laser Man, who is an insane ramp card. They hinted at a 3rd type, and I wonder if it is a hero, but they haven't really said. I'm curious if it's like cards that let you play stuff from the discard pile for a discounted cost or something along those lines would be my guess, because they said it's not like a resource, but it can be used to ramp or something. I don't know. But we'll see. I hope Hero, because right now getting an 8 for Hero seems a little tougher than Villains. Anything else on Home 1?
No.
Sick nasty.
Who's got this? Flock?
I'm up.
Can you
So
read
we got
all
an
this?
event. I can read it. Am I going to comprehend it is another question. All right, so we have event, command, 4 costs, double green, and it says choose 2 in any order. Give 2 experience tokens to a unit. A friendly unit deals damage equal to its power to a non-unique enemy unit. Put this event into play as a resource, and return a unit from your discard pile to your hand. And it's a legendary.
Legendary. Oh yeah, Home 1's a legendary by the way as well.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of that, did they announce how many legendaries will be in a set? No, they haven't announced that.
I don't think so.
Okay, I was just curious.
That could be the next. Well, I don't know if they would say that in the pack distribution of how many legendaries are in the full set, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sorry, get us off track, but yeah. Seems good. I like it for 4 costs. Woo.
Yeah, I like it better than Vigilance because I like that.
Yeah.
I like specifically every time I look at this, I'm like paying 4 or even 6, right? Realistically 6 because I doubt any deck is going to be double green at this point.
Double green, yeah.
But I love the give 2 experience tokens and then a friendly unit deals damage. So you can buff something by 2/2 and then deal damage into something, and that unit still would be ready as well.
Yeah.
Right? Like obviously, like you can look at this and dream big. Like Home 1, give it 2 experience tokens, do 9 to something, right? Like that's good, but even like
that's good even for 6. Sheesh.
Yeah, and then Home 1 still can attack as well, and so then you can swing 9 into base too.
Yup.
So I like it. The non-unique restriction is a little rough. I think we'll have to see how the game plays out with that.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Yo, imagine getting like command off and then getting Home 1 back and then getting Akbar back again. Doing that like combo twice.
Yeah. Wham bam.
Yeah. Because you can return a unit from your discard pile to your hand, you get Home 1 back, and then when you play Home 1 again the next round, or that round, whatever, then you get Akbar out again.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think experience is actually going to be pretty huge in this game. And even if it's not, I'm gonna play every deck like it was a big Palpatine, late game Palpatine from
Deep
Destiny,
out.
and just keep adding stuff on.
Yep.
And if you've seen our gameplay videos, I utilized the experience pretty well and made one of the strongest snowtrooper lieutenants around. That thing like smacked for like 11 at one point. You know, I think that there's just a huge untapped market for experience.
Yeah, because you
And,
gave him the 2 from the ship, right?
I gave him Barrage,
And then
I gave
Barrage.
him 2 from the ship, and yeah, I mean I think experience is huge, even if it's only temporary. I think that it still has a huge place in this game, and it can turn the tides very quickly.
Yeah.
If left unchecked.
Yep.
But I think I like everything on this card except for the non-unique enemy unit. I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm really going to be using that option too often, but the other three
Mhm.
are massive.
Yeah, because all the big ones we've said so far are like
Yeah.
unique.
I mean, oh boy, gonna smack the rugged survivors up. You know, it's like I don't know. Like I feel like you want to be playing unique stuff in this game. Like like early game, sure, you're gonna be playing like the DJ Laser. You're gonna be playing Cell Block Troopers and X Wings and whatever. But like
Yeah.
late game, I feel like if you get this card and you have the 6 resources to play this card, non-unique units aren't going to be as big as a threat as this card is going to have the power to deal with.
Yeah, so far at least. Yeah. Like all the 6 costs and above are essentially all uniques, right? There's the ATST, there's the I already forgot the Sentinel Star Destroyer's name again. The Gladiator?
The Gladiator. Yeah.
So there's that.
Yep.
But yeah, then you're talking like 6 cost Obi-Wan, 6 cost Chewbacca,
Right.
Home One, Relentless.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the big stuff end game so far has been unique. So that'll depend too.
It just feels bad in that sense. I think that option particularly feels pretty bad by the time you get this card out and playable.
Yeah. Yeah, curious if I mean, because at like 6, I think I only like the first 2 options and then the return a unit. At 6, it kind of feels bad to like put it into play as a resource unless it is something like Vader where it's turn 6, or you have 6 resources and now you play this. You give 2 experience tokens to a guy to keep him on the board longer, and then go to 7, and then you bring Vader out. Stuff like that might not be bad, but I think putting an event to play as a resource kind of feels bad for 6 cost. And again, I'm going to evaluate all the double aspects as 6 cost, or 2 more at least from whatever the printed cost is.
Because if you have 6 resources and you're not playing anything and you're green, I think your opponent knows what you're about to do. You know, if you're going to pull that.
Yeah, you would hope you have a board state enough to where you could like dirtle around and attack with this, do this.
Right.
But
they feel they might have the edge, but they might not. It's tough. I like it though. I don't know if I like it more than Vigilance. I like it as much as Vigilance.
I think I like it more. Vigilance was like what? Heal 5 from a base or heal 6
Yeah,
from a base?
Vigilance is discard 6 cards from an opponent's deck, heal 5 from a base, deal a unit with 3 or less, defeat a unit with 3 or less remaining HP, and then give a shield token to a unit. So like I think they do like proportionate things to their aspect. I don't know if I like one more than the other.
The mill just feels like a blank on Vigilance. Vigilance feels like it's like 3 options. Truth be
Well,
told.
Command feels like it's 3 options at this point. You know what I mean? To me, anyway.
But the ready, there could at least, like I said, there could at least be that scenario where it's like I sneak out my leader faster that turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot more than I would like discarding 6. Unless you're playing a mill deck, but I don't think from what they've said so far that'll be a supported strategy.
No. I mean, I've been wrong before.
Never.
I think it's my turn, actually.
I was going to say, you want to finish us out?
Take it home. Prepare for takeoff. It's a 2-cost green command event plan. Search the top 8 cards of your deck for up to 2 vehicle units. Reveal them and draw them. Put the other cards on the bottom of your deck in a random order. Cool. Yeah, I mean, like if you're looking for, that's a deep search too.
8, yeah.
8 is huge.
And 2.
Like,
you get 2 back.
You
like
pull 2.
That's
I think that's a decent for 2.
For a 2 cost.
Like if you wanted to do that at the beginning of the game, at any point, this card is good. I think.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it gets you more cards in your hand too, even if it's just for a resource or, if you're feeling like your space is sufficient. Like it still gives you a card to throw into your resource area as well. So I think this is a versatile card. I think it's good. Command is looking tight.
Yeah.
Does it specifically say you have to like? I know the card doesn't say it, but I'm guessing the rules you have to reveal. Oh, it does say reveal
It
them.
says
Never mind.
reveal.
It says
I can't
reveal them
read.
in the card.
I can't read. I can't read.
Most
Confirmed.
anything's like that where you have to pick out
I-
a specific type. you
Yeah,
have to
I
reveal.
figured it was. I figured it was gonna be reveal, but then I didn't read it, and then I read it.
I
I'm
mean, if
proud
you're
of you.
pulling two, they're going to be vehicles.
True. True.
What more do you need than that? It's just greedy.
I
Right.
I think the only downside of that, like if you're going for a vehicle plan, this could be good. Just the only downside is if, as we see the full set, if vehicles really like, how far into the vehicle thing do you want to lean into? That just becomes the question of.
Space is huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like there's some real bombs in space. Personally, I'm pretty excited for space.
Although I could see 8 cards being a lot because you could be cycling, putting back 6 cards
Yeah, you
or
could be-
8
yeah.
cards that you might want, and now you're putting on the bottom of your deck on random order. So what if you don't get any vehicles? I mean, obviously you would put this deck in a deck that has a lot of vehicles, but like, let's say you get unlucky like Brian would, and top 8 would be literally all events, and he'd be like, well, there goes 2 of my commands, and
Build your deck better.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that there's a like a skill cap kind of thing. Like you have to know when to hold them, when to fold them. And if you don't like this card, if your opponent is playing like, a lot of ground units and you don't really care for it, goes in the resources. So I again, not that we're building decks around events, but I do think this is solid.
Yeah, I think ultimately pay 2 to draw 2 essentially, or get 2 more cards in your hand. I think is really right. It's not a strict draw because you have to pick specific cards up, but yeah, I mean, I think it's really good. I don't know how much you would audible from the vehicle plan if you're trying to do that, and also you should note that it doesn't have to be space. You could get an ATSD with this. It just says vehicle, so you can grab whatever, and for either space or ground. But I mean, if it ends up being like a card that I'm like resourcing more often than not, I think it's something you take out of your deck. Because even like more so with Lorcana, like playing that recently, there's some cards where I'm like, oh, it'd be really good in this situation, but it's not this situation, so I'm resourcing it. Where it'd be other times where it's like, I wish I had a more flexible card that could be good in more situations rather than like niche
Right.
ones. But
Like in the starter decks, you can tell like, oh, you got a frying pan, that's immediately going in the ink. You got a dingle hopper, that's immediately going in the ink.
oh yeah.
Like this
I
one,
was like, you got a
I
frying
feel like
pan in
little
your Darth Vader deck?
more... No, it sounds a little more, a little more versatile. Like this is kind of like a BR guest, but times 2.
Yes.
So I don't know. Could be cool. I like it for 2. It's not that harmful.
I like it. I think it's worth playing, especially because you can do ground or space. Any vehicle. I think will be good. And that gives more flexibility because then if you're playing ground vehicles, if there's any that come out, more to see. It'd be really good. But all right, that's all the spoilers. We're all caught up on that end. So any other thoughts, or we can hop into podcast questions?
Do some questions.
Word. All right. We got first 3 are from Uncle Scott, Inception. And so we'll go through those one at a time. It says, we currently have no red/yellow hero leaders. Who do you expect to slot in there?
I think yellow's got to be like Lando Calrissian or something. Like Lando Calrissian, or like maybe Sabine if they want to do the Rebels route, or I'm just trying to think of like in terms of what cards they've already shown. Like try to match the.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
for red, like maybe Hera.
Aggression, Hera.
Why not?
I think Hera would end up being command.
Okay. Yeah.
do they have
Yellow- I mean-
any of the Rebels stuff yet?
No, I don't think so. They had some graffiti on the walls that looked like it
Yeah.
was like Sabine related on the stream. That I was
Mhm.
thinking
Yeah.
like, oh, sneaky, 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 sneaky FFG.
Yeah.
And then there,
I
like
don't
the only
know.
other thing is resupply, which has Hera
Yeah.
and Sabine on there. I think.
Oh, it does.
Like
Okay.
red.
But I can't like I don't know. I feel like they're gonna stick with like the first first
ain't
three
no
movies for this. I feel
hard
like, but
No, I don't think this is even going to be first three.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be episode 4. I think it's going to be Rebels, and I think it's going to be Rogue One.
really, okay, that'd be freaking awesome.
So maybe
Oh, yeah,
Cassian.
there is Rogue One stuff.
We
Yeah,
already have Krennic, so I mean, you could. So
there's
Cassian could be red.
Cassian could definitely be red. He's an aggressive boy.
Generoso could be yellow.
Jin could be yellow. Han could be yellow.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think Han's got to
yeah.
be on. Han's got to be on.
Maybe Lando isn't even one. I don't know. I was
Yeah.
just thinking like,
He's episode 5, man. He's not going to make it. He's not in there. Yeah, I think I would go to like finish out because it seems like we have 2 for each, and I haven't looked at the spreadsheet, so maybe there could be more. But like another green would be Hera. I think yellow could be Han. And
Zeb.
is he
Where
cunning
would
though?
Zeb be? No, Zeb would probably be red.
I would put
feel
Jin.
like,
I put Jin yellow, and then Cassian red, and Zeb red. I don't know.
Zeb red. I feel like Zeb's not cunning.
Yeah, he's certainly great. I mean, he's just a big
He's
brute half the
aggressive.
time. He just runs
Yeah.
in there. Something like that. Like it definitely feels pretty narrow of who we can pick.
what about like Saul Guerrero, right?
Saul could definitely be on. He could
Saul
definitely be
could
aggressive.
Yeah.
green. Saul could be green too, though.
He could, yeah.
I feel like he's leader of the
There's definitely some. Yeah, there's like some.
Baze. Baze could be red, like he was in Destiny.
Yeah, that's what I keep thinking of. Like, who was in Destiny? What color were they? What
Baze
era
was
did they
red.
film?
Chirrut was Force blue.
Yeah.
Bodhi could be yellow, maybe.
Yeah, I'd probably slap him cunning. Bodhi Rook.
Woody Rook.
Where's Borgullet?
Woody Gullet.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of good options, and I think I end up happy no matter where they're at, as long as there's a splash of Rebels and Rogue One leaders. Like, I don't really just want, and I love the original trilogy, but if there's 2 like heroes for
Well,
each color, and it's
Veers is
only
5,
original.
isn't he? Isn't Veers in 5? Because he's in there, right?
Veers is 5. Yeah.
Yeah, so they could have 5.
Yeah, I was just messing with you. And
Lando could
we've
be
seen
there.
that artwork of
Yeah.
Vader, right? The playmat
Yeah.
of Vader with the snow troopers behind him.
Right in Hoth.
It's definitely
Yeah.
something.
And there's a snow speeder. There's the surgical droid with it looks to be
The
Luke in
Blizzard
tank.
ATST.
Blizzard
sorry,
ATSD.
AT-AT.
AT-AT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of possibilities.
You can see Wedge. Wedge could be,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
although, yeah, I wonder if he would. I want to say red
Wedge
because he
and
was red
Biggs.
in Destiny, but
Yeah.
Biggs.
like I wouldn't say he's aggressive, but like I mean, I guess he was
He
command.
could almost be command, yeah. I think I think that's the cool thing though. You could really make anything.
Yeah.
I think you could split aspects, and there doesn't necessarily need to be one of just that color. Right?
Sure.
And they can
It
also
could
come
be-
back
it
and
could
do.
be a separate instance of them.
You can do other ones
So.
multiple times. I mean, even Destiny, right? In the first 3 sets, you had like I said, both villain Darth Vaders, right? But it was like different versions of Darth Vader, right? It was like Episode 3 Darth Vader fighting Obi-Wan, and then
Mhm.
then they had like the
Emo kids.
this
Emo kids Vader.
and then they just had the normal like suit Vader that you see Episode 4.
Vader.
So yeah, there's definitely options for that. I hope we get a few Rogue Ones. I hope we get a space leader too. I think we had talked about that in a previous, but I hope we
Yeah.
get a space leader who deploys into space. I think that'd be really cool. I don't expect much of them. I would expect like 1 on each side maybe, but
Mm-hmm. That could be Tarkin and Akbar, but they're already
yeah. So I mean, you could have Akbar.
could have Hera and Cyan Ree.
Yeah, I think that's what we said last
If you're
time.
getting real niche,
Yeah. All right. What's second question from him? Or do you guys have any other thoughts on that? On the red yellow heroes?
No.
What's your one hot take from the card reveals on Wednesday's Command stream?
The lightsaber fight that they did at the end of the stream when it faded out and then faded back in. They were doing professionally choreographed. Gotta be professional. It was perfect.
Had to be.
I thought I was watching Revenge of the Sith. It was insane.
You were my brother, Tyler.
I loved you.
Your
For me?
empire.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just making random quotes.
Oh yeah, making random noises. For me, I think especially early on, I don't think Tarkin's gonna be that good early on. That's my hot take.
That wasn't the
Yeah.
stream, by the way.
That wasn't the stream.
No, it wasn't. I thought it was a stream.
No, he was revealed like on Twitter a few days before.
Oh snap! I thought it was on a stream. My bad. Disregard that.
He could end up
Uh-oh.
middle of the pack, but
Disregard that.
Someone didn't do their homework.
I think he could end up middle of the pack, but I currently think he's better than everybody right now. Hot take.
I don't know.
Almost hot take. Currently, it feels like while Home One's a really good card, red green currently seems like it's hard to get there unless the other red green hero helps ramp or something. Like Leia doesn't add anything to that. She seems like she wants to be an aggro deck, taking multiple actions, getting value out of units. A Home One feels out of place right now because of what we've seen. Doesn't mean it's going to end that way, but I think green hero needs some love to ramp, or it's going to be harder to play them. And games are also going to probably go longer when we have the full set because you'll have more ways to counter and slow the game down, I would assume. But we'll see.
That is a hot take.
Hot. Bro, Restore's great, bro, but you got to be able to get there.
Yeah, because everyone
can't die
has
before
Restore at that point,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's pretty big.
And
Everything.
And everybody, it stacks on people, right? You get Yoda, Akbar, Restored Arc out, etc. Those all now have +1 on that. So yeah, I mean, there could be like a green-blue one that's restoring, healing a lot, trying to make that, get value out of that stuff. I don't know. But currently, yeah, Home One's my least favorite, I guess, would be my hot take of that. I don't know.
That is a hot take.
But I do like Home One. It's just there
Yeah.
could be in a grand scheme of things, there can be a thing where there's a really good card,
Yeah.
but it's like hard to play because that color combination doesn't have the necessary ramp.
Mhm.
And like I said,
That's fair.
paying 6 on command to make that a resource feels bad. Resupply, I think you would just play, right? I think that's a 3 of in your deck if you're trying to do that. But
Yeah, I still feel like that command for resource will be when you have you only have to pay 4 for it. Then it doesn't feel
Yeah,
as bad
yeah,
to put it as a resource, especially if you can get your leader out.
pay
With it.
4, yeah, that's a fantastic
Yep.
card at 4, yeah, but
Yep.
6 is where
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
how's it work? Did you say Flocky said Tarkin will still count it? Brian, did you say hot take?
I said the lightsaber duel was correct.
The lightsaber duel, yeah.
It's got to be incredible. I have nothing professional to add here because
Personality higher.
I am the personality higher. No, I think this stream was pretty good. I don't really have any hot takes to say about it. I'll leave it at that. I liked it a lot. So, nothing controversial here.
And his third and final one is when we let Brian play Tarkin aggro so he can win some games.
Tonight.
Yo, Brian won a game, and then the next day, the other 2 really good pieces of Boba Fett got spoiled. Or no, just the fire spray got spoiled. I had the other Boba
Just
Fett
the
in my
fire
deck.
spray. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah. No, I think that it was expertly piloted by myself. I gotta so big, so huge.
huge.
Let me tell you something. No, we'll run it tonight.
Here's
Maybe
the
I
thing.
don't. I'm kind of sleepy.
Yeah,
so
I'm
we
saying
don't
it's
care.
way past my
Care.
bedtime already.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm
I'm
not staying up for
I'm
games.
sleepy. I don't know if I can play. I'm a little scared.
Yeah. Well, we could try to get games in over the weekend or something, maybe.
Yeah.
Generally pretty free.
Eventually-
Yeah, I'm busy. I'm busy this weekend. Sorry,
Oh yeah, that is.
Frisbee.
I got a frisbee tournament. Sectionals.
There it is. He said the
Sectionals.
secret- He said the secret phrase.
Well,
And
he's
if we
not
make it-
making the soccer game, I forgot.
If-
Better.
Yeah, if we
Oh.
and if we're ranked 10 out of 20, and if we place top 7, we go to regionals in 2 weeks, and I think that's like in Delaware or something like that.
Nice.
maybe
I
like
didn't
Maryland or
understand a word
something.
of that, but I'm happy for you, buddy.
So
He plays at the next
Yeah.
tier up events.
Cool.
yeah.
Very good.
If
So
he
the
wins
next question.
if he tops 8 store championship, he can go to a regional. Okay.
Basically, that's what it is. Yeah.
If he gets second one more time, he wins the contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is from Kirby, and it says, "From all the previews so far, what aspect are you most looking forward to playing, and why?" Feel free to give specific, right? Hero, whatever, or it could just be a general color.
It's got to be command, villain, red for me. I don't know what red has, but it has Palpatine, and I want to play Vader.
Oh, so you already have your
So-
three colors picked out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I always lean villain in these instances.
Yeah.
I think villain is just the kind of deck that I play is smack face, right? So I'm gonna run Vader pretty much consistently throughout, and then I think I want command because command has big stuff. So that's me.
Beefy.
Green, red, black for me are my three.
Yeah, I'm looking like yellow villain stuff is what I'm kind of going for.
A trickster.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always liked the Boba Fett type. Like if you remember from Destiny, I tried to make Boba Fett work. Like I did whatever I can. Remember that 3 wide whatever,
put
I
Jango in there.
I just put Jango Fett in there because you know why? Because Jango Fett. That's the only difference, only reason. So
There's like,
I don't know,
there
I
were
like
3 better options, right? There's like Afra,
Yeah.
Jabba, and like somebody else. I forget who. It was like
Yeah,
they're all
and I
better
was like-
options. But Jango wasn't bad.
I did pretty well with the Django.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Who was the
Um,
yellow bounty hunter that they threw in there? It was like Forlom.
Forlom and Zug.
Oh,
were both in there at
yeah.
the end.
Yeah,
You
like
could- you could pair
Forlom
them
was
together.
the one that you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah, 'cause
but yeah,
droids-
I'm looking more towards that. Empire did nothing wrong, so
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the only other fleshed out color right now is blue hero. So,
oh god, you're so original.
So predictable, dude.
Based off current cards, I probably like lean like a Tarkin deck is probably what excites me the most. Boba does look really cool, but like that like fast, high value early but falls off isn't generally what I like to play.
You think it falls off.
So so aggressive.
so aggressive.
You think it falls off.
You
No,
think it
no, no,
falls
no.
off?
But I don't like those as much. Whereas doing something like Tarkin, where I can take value trades but still have like an end game, interests me currently more. But I have really liked every game I played with Luke. I think Luke's actually a really good deck, and like trying to get values out of his shields and whatnot has been a lot of
Shields
fun.
are
So,
massive.
so I'll go that I am excited to see where Luke falls into. He seems to me the second best hero right now in the small vacuum that we have. But I'm definitely looking forward to Yellow Hero, but we know nothing about that. But that's because I want to play Han, as I always do. All right, and last question is from Banana Crapshoot from Saga, Space Arena, Ground Arena. And his question was, do you hope competitive events are best of 3 or best of 1, and why? If you do want best of 3, do you want sideboards?
That's a tough question.
Ooh.
I think from what they've said, since the game length varies from like 5 minutes to 30 minutes, I could deal with a BO3. And then sideboards are neat too, since there's so much card pool you can choose from, and the more sets we get, the more card pool there's gonna be. That's so tough. I think BO3s are cool. Best of 1 might feel bad if you just kind of get ran over in 5 minutes, though. So
Oh yeah.
if you can adapt and adjust, I think you deserve to win if the best of 3, is there. So yeah, you know what? Best of 3. Best of 3 with sideboard is cool. Because I did like the sideboard in Flesh and Blood. That game that I won't talk about.
But that was best of 1, right? In Swiss?
Yeah, I
Pretty sure
believe
that
so.
was. Yeah.
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 So
Go ahead,
oh,
Phil,
you
go
can go, Jack. You go. No, you go, Jack.
No,
You go.
this is your chance to shine.
All right. Here's my. So I like the best of 3 options just because time does vary. I prefer best of 1 because I kind of like the feeling of you show up, you shuffle your deck, you play, the winner wins, whatever. If you're playing a bunch of games, you really can't say that you didn't make Top Cut because, oh, I shuffled wrong or whatever. However, I do like best of 3 if they're going to be like, they have a lot of short games. Could be fun. But I don't like the sideboard idea. Like, I get why they have it, but I still like the idea of people showing up. Because, especially from my Destiny days, like sitting back thinking, okay, what are the cards I'm bringing? But not so much why am I bringing these cards. More so like why am I bringing these cards? Because here's what I think a lot of people are playing. So I need to have these in my deck. And then you show up and it's kind of like, oh, I should have had this in my deck, blah, blah, blah. But you still go forward to try to win versus, oh, I got these 5 cards on the side. Oh, yeah, I'm playing this deck. Let me swap these 5 cards out for these 5 cards. And now I have an advantage on them. It's like, I don't know. Feels kind of bad having the, oh, we're going to swap this out because I see who you're playing as,
There's no dice though, right?
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Oh, no.
There's no
Sideboard,
questions to be
yeah.
had.
Sideboard, I get
might
it, but like
save
I'm
you
just
in a
like,
situation where
I don't
dice would have saved you before.
I don't know. It's just we'll see how it goes if everything comes out. I've never played a game with the sideboard, but just thinking of my past experiences with these games, sideboard just feels not like cheating, but like feels very like less room for error. So whatever you show up with to an event has less downside if you don't bring the correct deck with everything in there because you can always swap out, bring extra cards and swap them in.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle. For like best of 1, best of 3, like it definitely felt nice in Destiny. And then like even just starting our Lorcana League and like that being a best of 3, I was just like, I gotta play 3 games, or like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure in a competitive environment that might change. And I think if you want a more competitive game, it's probably best of 3 with a sideboard, right? I mean, I think that is like where you would consistently get the best players with the best decks at the top. But is that the best for every event? I don't know. And I doubt they would change between events. Like a store champ, like if you do store champ and it's just best of 1s and then top cut is best of 3s, like that's fine. But then if they're like at Worlds, everything is best of 3s, like I get that. So
yeah, plus it could spread over a couple days at Worlds. Like
yeah.
I think if it's higher play and it's like a regional or above, like best of 3 with the sideboard makes sense. Where if it's like like an open league to store champs where it's a best of 1, you kind of just want to cycle through. It's like a 3-hour event. You want to get people in and out. I think that makes sense. But I think, yeah, if you're going at the top level, best of 3 with the sideboard might be more. It might feel better for the strategic player who wants to kind of strut their stuff.
I almost feel the flex would come with the best of 1 or best of 3 though, whereas like sideboard would be universal. Like I feel like it would be weird for me to go to a store championship and not have a sideboard, but now I'm at Worlds and I do have a sideboard.
So, but then the other thing with that is it's a 50 card deck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how impactful are those? I don't know. It's a thing about like I don't know. It's tough to say.
Yeah.
The sideboard might not be ultimately necessary.
Yeah, I think it probably appeals to a wider audience, more casual, friendly, but still competitive of like no sideboard. But if they did one, I'm not super pressed either way. If you twist my arm for an absolute that I had to be the one who picked, I probably do best of 3 and do sideboard with smaller events given the flexibility of that.
Yeah.
But if there's no sideboard and it's best of 1, like I'm still fine. Like I imagine top cuts are always going to be best of 3 like Destiny was as well. So yeah, the question becomes like Swiss rounds is that.
I'm never going to be up that far, so it doesn't matter to me. Moving on. Next question. Get him out of here.
Oh, that's it. Well, those were that was the mailbox.
Oh, okay.
Mail time.
But yeah, I'm really curious too to see the OP and how they expand on that. Is there an app? Is there something they develop like Flesh and Blood had a great thing. You signed in, the store didn't have to do anything. Everybody was there. They hit pair and a pair.
I love that.
And you
Hated the
looked at your
game, but
phone.
love that.
I'm at table 6 against so and so.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm at table 1 against Jack, first round, every time.
Yeah, true. It was either me or it was either Nate. Those are who
Yeah.
you were playing around.
Yep. Yeah, Nate, dude.
I feel like
Love
I
that.
never played Flock at any event aside from when I dunked on him in the finals.
I actually didn't either, I feel like.
No, remember I let you win at that one event. I gave you the win.
Who?
You.
Oh,
Me?
didn't you leave? You had to leave. That was Kappa.
No,
you like
'cause
left early or something.
I didn't leave early, but I already had like a top cut whatever I needed, so I ended up playing Brian, beat him, and then gave him the win, and to
sounds
make
great.
it so that he would make top cut, and he still missed.
I'll say
it.
he still
That
missed.
sounds
Yeah.
great.
He
Yeah.
still missed, and I gave him the win. I dunked on him, and then I think that was my Django deck, my 3-white with Django, and I
can
beat
tell you
him
his
and then let
first-
him win.
His opening turn was roll 8 damage and deleted the character from that side.
Dude, people are gonna be mad knowing you finagle the
Suck?
game, dude. OP is gonna
Did I suck?
FF. No, I was saying for Flock.
It was
Oh,
it was a charity event.
I was gonna say, I suck. It's
It
not
was a charity. It
difference,
was a charity event.
Kappa? That was a regional, or that was a.
No, it wasn't Kappa. It
It
was
wasn't Kappa.
it was Nova. I think it was the was Nova the not Nova, the one where we were in Pennsylvania where it smelled like horse
Kappa?
manure.
Kappa.
Yeah, it was Kappa
Kappa?
Cup.
Yeah, Kappa.
Krappa Cup.
Kappa Cup wasn't a like
I thought it was a charity event.
not
It
not
was.
the big year that we all did it.
I thought it was a charity year or a charity event.
The one where I'm pretty sure we gave out like prizes, like it had the OP kit and everything, because the store like sponsored it from that area that Adam had hooked up.
Oh.
I have no
Oh.
memory of this place, personally. So
Kappa Cup was fun. I don't think that's gonna come back. I think that's gone. I think Adam's, I
Yeah.
think it became a lot, and then COVID gave an easy out of everything stopping.
can't blame him.
All right. Any other final thoughts, gentlemen? I'm actually surprised we're 20 minutes over the hour.
You have one more thing to do, Mister.
I do. A good thing somebody here is
I forget. I still don't even know what we're talking about.
shocker.
I do.
So we were gifted
Oh yeah.
a
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
the Gen Con, right? Gen Con is
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Gen Con full arts of Luke. I don't know if that can really come into focus a little bit. Of Luke and Vader. So you'll get the set. One person will win both. Will be mailed out. In the description, on our Facebook, on our Twitter, there's going to be a link. I forget what the website is called already, but essentially, if you've done a giveaway on the internet, you've probably done this site where it's like gives you a few options. You get a point for each. So some are like visit our Facebook, follow us on Twitter, visit our YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. So you can get all these points if you do everything, and each point is like an entry into it, and then we'll pick that. We'll probably pick that on our next podcast. Well, maybe not. I haven't picked an end date, but within the next week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever. I'll say next podcast, but we're probably not podcasting until after the next stream, which is the 20th, which is 13 days from now. Maybe let's say 2 weeks. Somewhere around 2 weeks, we'll say. Maybe it is our next podcast. But, yeah, these are nice. I did the print and play, and I bought a pair of this as well off eBay, so I got to use them, and they look nice. This is tape shut. I never opened it, or else I would take out and show the other side of the leader side. But the leader side looks even better than the unit side, in my opinion. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that in the description on our Facebook, on our Twitter. Do those things. Share it with people. Get the Golden Dice brand out there, dude. Also, Brian, how did we not mention our Asajj?
I did it at the beginning.
2020
I
shirt.
cupped my shirt a little bit, and it's about 2020, almost 4 years ago.
Dude,
Oh
that's
my
what I saw on
gosh,
TikTok,
dude.
and it was like, yo, in like
In
3
in
months,
3 months,
it's gonna be 4 years.
4
since
years ago.
2020. I was like, what in the world?
disgusting.
For those
Disgusting.
for those of you that don't know, Savage Asajj was a pairing Brian did in Destiny, and it kind of became a meme because not only were they rough characters to play, Brian probably included some of the worst cards in that deck.
Shock collars.
Like
I'm
Shock Collar.
shocked. I'm shocked.
Shock. So it was, let me defend myself for a second. It was meant to be a showcase of the new cards.
Mm.
It just wasn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to put the downgrades in there because they were new that set.
But
It
there
just
were,
happened
like,
to be the
better blue
downgrades for that
downgrades.
color were terrible.
There were better blue ones,
it-
but they might have been that like witch oriented.
Yes.
The
it
Odaka
was
stuff.
shock. It was shock collar.
Well, Shock Collar was
Mhm.
gray. That was neutral.
Yes, it was. Yeah, and
But there were some like curses and stuff.
I forget what they were. There were definitely some blue ones from the Night
Pretty rough.
Sisters. Yeah.
The yellow ones
Yeah.
were the ones that ended up being, I think, pretty good
Yes.
with the
Yeah.
bounty hunters and stuff.
The
Those are
Bounty
giving you good
Wars.
monies and stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah. I gotta tell you, I'm not the best at making decks in any game, period. So
Hey,
I
it's
don't
gonna
have
change.
that like
You're on the up and up.
my horizons are not that wide. I am pretty wide, but my horizons are very tiny. So it's not gonna change. I'm gonna keep making jank. I'm gonna live to my heart's content with SWU, and there's a whole big playground of stupid stuff I can add to all my decks for a little bit extra cost. So you never know what's coming at you.
Brian's gonna play a double blue Luke deck and include all yellow, green, and red cards.
If you recall, y'all asked what the best deck is going to be with the best aspect, and I said Mono Vader. Could be something.
Mono Vader.
Yeah,
Is that double red?
with red?
Just all. Oh, I thought you meant all Vaders in your deck.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
everything is
8
Vader.
Vaders.
Yeah.
Vader's lightsaber,
Hey, we'll have to see what the. I mean, we'll see that next month. What the aggression double
it'll be trash.
double
it'll be
aggression
trash.
aspect card is.
I just did it for the memes. But
Yo.
What do you
I'm-
think?
I'm
What do
looking
you think
forward to
that's gonna
red.
be? It's gonna like deal damage to units to a base. I mean, we haven't
Smack
really.
fade. Because if we look at our spoiler,
That was deal
there's
3, 4
still damage. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to be a lot of like almost control in a sense. Board control.
Have there been any other like
No.
red events or
Force
there's
choke.
force choke and stuff?
Force choke. There's Palpatine, and then that's it. Starwing Scout, Ozzel. Yeah, there's not a lot of red, so I'm looking forward to getting a little more red out there.
I could see like an option being deal damage. I could see an option be damage to like base. I could even see one being like Ozzel's ability almost could be interesting. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know.
I think red's gonna be pretty cool. I'm just saying. I don't know. I got a good feeling about it. It's the Sithy stuff,
It's got this
Really
feeling
gets me going.
inside his bones.
Feel it with my jimmies.
Whoa,
Whoa, dude.
this is a family-friendly podcast.
For real.
All right. Giveaway. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, on your favorite podcasting place, Spotify, Apple, Google, all the things. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
Please, more streams, FFG. I can't wait. Please inject this game into my veins. Very
Yeah.
excited.
Every card I see, I lose an ounce of patience for the game.
There's at least one text a week between either Jack or myself that asks, "Is SWU out yet?"
Well, because we'll see something with
Swag.
Orkana, and then we'll just respond and be like, "Is Sue
Yeah.
here? Can
Yep.
Sue free us?" from
Yeah.
this pain?"
Please keep up with our newsletter to see when stock is coming back. Is SWU out yet? Can we have SWU now?
All right.
That's all I got.
Sounds good to me. Appreciate everybody hanging out this long, listening, and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you probably after the September 20th stream. We'll see you September 21st, 22nd, 23rd,
Hey, yo.
24th, 25th.
26th.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.